You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows like the one you're about to enjoy, visit electronicmediacollective.com. And now, our feature presentation.
Howdy do, buckaroos, and welcome to Comics with My Kids podcast, the official podcast for the comicscornerbox.blogspot.com. I'm your host, Matt D, and with me today is
Logan D.
Here we are on our 14th installment of our summer reading promotion. This is our final episode. We want to thank everyone who's been listening to our summer reading promotion. We hope you've enjoyed all of our books that we've covered. Today, our book is what, Logan?
Well, first I want to say a special thanks to Kevin, who had joined us in a previous podcast as our special guest.
Don't forget your cousin, Richard. He helped out as well.
I forgot which one was he on?
I believe he was with us on one of the Cat Kid ones. Cat Kid Comic Club Book 2?
Yeah, but I was talking about the summer reading promotion.
Yes, it was the Cat Kid Comic Club Book 2 summer reading promotion.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, so we are what are we reading? You said you were on InvestiGATORS?
Book 6?
Heist and Seek. So
Yeah, it's called Heist and Seek. We don't know the number.
I'm guessing it's book 5.
I thought it was 6.
Well, anyway, it's written and drawn by
John Patrick Green.
Right.
Didn't even have to look for that one.
Okay, and it stars who are our two investigators?
Mango and Brash.
Yep. Mango's kind of the comedian, and Brash is kind of like the serious, straight-laced guy.
Yeah. And Mango always understands things wrong.
Yes, he does.
For example, in this book, it is themed that art has been stolen from the museum.
Wait, whose art?
Just famous people's art.
Oh, art is in painting. That's why it's called Heist and Seek. Gotcha. Okay. Here, I thought it was a guy named Art. Maybe he got like art napped. But Mango's kind of like that. He misunderstands things. Like,
for example, when they had found out that it was that, Brash had said, "Well, this is no work of a mere cat burglar, as in a normal cat burglar." But Mango misheard him and said, "Meerkat."
Yeah, that's right.
Because why would a meerkat be a burglar?
Okay. Well, how does our episode open up? Or how does our how does our story open up?
So it starts off with a tortoise and a porpoise, aka a dolphin. And
a dolphin is not the same as a porpoise. A porpoise is a completely different species.
Okay.
You did that on porpoise, didn't you?
Yes. So they had collected art from an airport because it just gotten flown in from wherever it came from.
Okay.
And so they had locked up the van and they had drove all directly straight to the museum. And when they had opened it, it was all empty.
Wait, they opened the art or they opened
No,
the van?
they opened the van.
Okay.
Why did they open the art?
I don't know. You keep using prepositions without a subject. All right, anyway, so
they opened the van and they saw it was empty. So then we flip over to the investigators who were watching the movie called Coal Law.
Cole's Law.
Yeah, instead of Coleslaw. And while they were watching the movie, which had a lot of puns and it was very funny, they got a call, and so they had to go outside and take the call. Then they had to go save the museum, or help find them where the art was.
Go save the museum? All right, so they're investigating the missing art now. So then, what other cool jokes did you see in the first couple chapters?
Well, in the movie Coleslaw, the main hero is a piece of lettuce, and he's
no. He's a piece of cabbage.
Actually, he's a ball of cabbage.
Yes,
and
which is not lettuce.
There is the.
So let us continue, and get just the point of the cabbage.
But it's lettuce, not cabbage.
It is cabbage. Cole's Law, he's a cabbage. They put cabbage in coleslaw.
They do?
Yes.
I don't know. I don't eat that kind of stuff.
That's why he's a cabbage.
I don't eat that kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't like coleslaw.
Okay, so other than something being fundamentally wrong with you, what's next?
So he tried to stop this bad guy who was like a mosquito who's gonna turn the entire town into sugar, then eat the town. And he had a big red button and it said rope-a-dope. And so he pushed the button and caught the cop with it.
Gotcha.
And then he said, "Let us see you get out of that." And then he said, "No one can stop me, not even the." And then when he went to say that, they got the call.
Gotcha. And they get their call on their vest, right?
Yeah, so all of a sudden their thing yelled "InvestiGATOR" and then interrupted the movie.
Yeah. So they did the polite thing. They stepped out of the theater, and then that's when they went to investigate the art. And now we hop onto chapter 2, which is them checking. Oh, I'm sorry, not chapter 2. Chapter 3. They're actually coming up with an idea as to how to
solve the
case. And they're checking out where the paintings are at. They interview with the curator of the museum. And then they came up with the idea of...
So they thought that they could make Mango an artist because they went to an art class and Brash had made something really realistic and good. And Mango had made a abstract art and they loved it, so he dressed it up as as a different guy who they called Mac. His first name was Macaroni and his second name was Aunt Cheesy.
And cheese. I could say it with like a French or an accent, like macaroni, cheese, and chaz.
And cheese.
Yeah. But Mango gets a new outfit that he uses to disguise himself as this artist. Do you remember what it's called?
He got a new smock.
And what does smock stand for?
Supplementing Mango's originality, creative, and knowledge.
Yeah, sounds about right. And what did it do to his body?
It turned him blue. It gave him a beard and hair and glasses. And he also got a paint palette and paintbrushes.
Yep.
And he got smart.
And he got smart with art knowledge. So he winds up painting a rather interesting painting, and then somehow they get him on the local news, right?
Right.
And so what are they going to do? Why is he on the local news?
So that they can make his thing famous.
Right, so that
they can get it into there and track it.
Get it into the gala, because there's a big gala that's premiering that all this art was supposed to be for. So they're gonna slap a tracker on it, and then they decide that they are going to have painting go through the airport and all the other art.
What's funny is he couldn't think of a place, and so he just said a couple random things and made it a place. So where he was is
that's right. Let's back up a little bit. The way what you just said, buddy, kind of didn't make sense. They had asked him where he was from.
Yeah.
Okay, and he ended up having to make up a name of a country, which was
Lampa Rug Light Switchland.
Where's that near? Where do you find that on the globe?
You can. It's actually so tiny. It's the size of an average room. That's the entire island. So you wouldn't actually be able to see it on a map.
Yes.
And his painting, since it's abstract stuff, he had actually calls it a weird fruit.
What did he call it?
Rhapsody in Fruit was the name of his painting.
I thought it was Rhapsody of Fruit.
In.
Oh, okay. All right, so then they put a tracker on the painting. They send the painting through the airport. It gets picked up by the armored vehicle. And then what happens?
Then it gets stolen, so they track it. And what's odd is what's funny is the way that they travel is through toilets, but they couldn't get there because the picture wouldn't fit in the toilet. Gotcha. So what they did was they did a fast forward in time. They flipped the page. so then they wouldn't have to do that.
Oh, yes, the classic cartoon logic. Instead of showing them traveling to the place, they just
were there.
But
What's funny,
were they at the airport?
No, they were at the bearport.
Wait, whoa. What's a bearport?
So it's an airport for bears, and there's all kinds of things there. And so you know how they have like these Build-A-Bears?
I don't know. I can't really hear you. Keep moving your head away from the mic.
You know how there's this one thing called the Build-A-Bear?
Yes.
Instead, it says Build-A-You.
Oh,
for bears.
Nice. Gotcha.
And there was one place called Salmon Says.
Oh, instead of Simon Says?
Qualified Loans.
Oh, that's clever.
And Panda Express.
Well, yeah, there's a Panda Express not too far from our house.
And
Chinese place.
A Polar Energy.
Oh, instead of cola energy. Anyway, all right. So they get the painting to.
Oh wait. There's one more funny thing.
Okay.
They need to go to the bathroom, and guess what the bathroom says instead of bathroom?
Bear room.
Poo with an H on the end.
Ah, gotcha. Like Winnie the Pooh. Clever. All right. So they get the painting. They get to the airport. They get in the armored vehicle. They track it down. Do they find the thief?
Well, the other thing is, as they are going to find it, they go up
to the street level?
Yeah, and there's 2 buildings. Your tracker's going to one building, but really they think that it's in another one because it's coming from a you hide in storage, but Brett says that's too obvious, and they find it in another space. But
what do you mean other space? What other space do you mean?
Across the street from the you hide in, they find all the famous pictures.
Okay, where is it hiding in? What was the name of the building?
It's called Warehouse Their House.
That's right, because it's a play on words. Cool. So they found the painting, but did they find out who was stealing them?
No, because there's nobody there.
Gotcha. So then what happens next?
So instead of trying to get all the pictures through the sewer and all that trouble, they skip ahead again, and they took all the pictures to the museum with cows and
Oh, well, that's a good place to take them, is to the museum.
Yeah, but that's not where they were trying to get them. They need to get them back to the museum.
Oh, okay, gotcha. For the gala. So how are they going to find the thief then?
They don't know, but they just take it back to the correct place, and when he was talking about the missing paintings,
Who's
the owner of the art, he said,
the
"Thank
curator,
you for
the curator of the museum."
Yeah, we would have been here sooner, but we went to the other museum. We heard they had an impressive catalog, and it was quite moving.
Are they gonna milk this joke?
And then he said, but we made sure to hoof it over before it was past your bedtime. And this pasture, like a place where cows are.
Yep.
And then Brash said, "Don't milk the joke, Mango."
Yeah, I already got there. All right, so how are they going to catch the thief? What do they do next?
So,
don't they have like a plan to like hang out at the gala and see who'd possibly be the thief?
Yeah.
And like ask questions to the guests and stuff? Like investigators would normally investigate?
No, instead they were it was just Mango because he was Aunt Cheesy, or Macaroni and Cheesy.
Right, he dressed up as the painter to be at the gala. How did Brash get into the gala? How do you make his way in? I'll wait for it.
Oh, he disguised as a waiter, and became a mango.
Became a what?
And he became a waiter.
Right. He disguised himself as a waiter. That way he can get in there and check out and investigate to see who the thief might be.
Yeah. Although what was funny is they had these hors d'oeuvres.
They're called hors d'oeuvres.
They had hors d'oeuvres, and he said, shrimp and garlic. And then somebody behind him said, and cheese. And cheese? I don't taste cheese. Oh wait, that's me.
Yep. So do they find the thief at the gala?
Well, first they start serving.
Who's they?
Brash starts serving stuff, and he gets over to
What's he serving? A tennis ball?
No, he's serving more hors d'oeuvres, and he gets over to Mango, and Mango won't pay attention to him, and so he elbows him and said, "Ow! How you dare elbow macaroni?"
Haha. Elbow macaroni, nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so then, do we ever learn who the thief is, or are we going to leave that for the reader to discover?
We'll leave that for the reader to discover.
Okay. Well, is there any other funny bits in the book that you liked that you don't want to, that won't ruin the ending?
No, there's not much else I want to say.
Okay. Well, I know one thing that I liked is shortly after we discover that everyone's eating these hors d'oeuvres, we learned that the hors d'oeuvres weren't cooked properly, and suddenly everyone starts getting sick with food poisoning. What's the most common that comes with food poisoning, Logan?
Barf.
Yep.
So they started barfing on all the painting.
Yeah.
And so the first one to barf, of course, is Mango, because he ate a lot of them, and he had barfed on the one picture, and then everybody started getting worried.
Whoa. It wasn't a picture. It was a painting. And it was a painting of Mona Lisa.
Yeah,
which was a dog version of the
Mona Lisa.
That's right.
And then everybody started
spewing.
Yeah.
Horking. Ralphing.
Yeah.
Regurgitating.
And they planned on the one girl was a cheetah, and she told the turtle, "Go pull the fire alarm," because he was close. Then he started walking very slow, and she said, "Will you hurry up?" because he only got a few feet. And he said, "Hey, I'm not the fastest animal on Earth, you know." And
fastest land animal on Earth.
Yeah.
What is?
The cheetah. So she said, "Ugh, I'll do it," and then bolted over there.
Yep.
She was really fast.
Gotcha. All right, buddy. Well, what did you think of the artwork then?
I thought it was quite cool.
Yeah. Does it follow the standard art style that you're used to seeing in most comic books you've been reading, or is it something a little different? How does it fall to your eye?
I think it's quite funny, and I like it, and it's normal cartoony to me.
Yeah, I rather enjoy it too. John Patrick Green definitely has a cool style that is definitely in line with your, I'd say your preteen comic style. So like your Sunday morning cartoon stuff, your Captain Underpants, jazz like that. So, all right, buddy. Well, with our standard rating of buy, borrow, or bust, what would you put InvestiGATOR's book for your Heist and Seek?
I definitely say buy. It's quite funny, and I definitely read it multiple times.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I definitely say that the book is a buy. I think a lot of kids would read it over and over again. It's a real fun series. I recommend parents to pick it up themselves. They'll find a lot of fun jokes in there, especially a lot of cool dad jokes and a lot of puns. I love puns. And it has acronyms.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a good acronym?
You know what? This book is not for like kids and parents. It's for everyone.
Well, yeah. So, all right, Logan, is there anything else you want to say about this particular book or the summer reading promotion or anything else related to comic books that you've read this summer?
No.
No, not really. All right. Well, since this is our last episode, our last review, is there any one book that you've read this summer that you like the most that you would tell someone to go out and buy right away?
Oof. Oh, well, that's easy. I'd definitely say Wings of Fire.
Wings of Fire. Okay. The graphic novel or the novel series?
Novel. Easy novel.
Easy novel? Okay. All right. Well, I think out of everything we read, I think the thing that I liked the most was probably the very first book we read, which I think was Hilo. Was Hilo part of our reading program?
I don't know.
Oh, I can tell you here in just a minute. Yes, Hilo, Gina and the Last City on Earth was definitely my favorite book that we read this summer. Is there any books that we did read that you'd go back and revisit aside from your favorite book?
I'd probably do Wings of Fire Book 2, the graphic novel.
I see. Well, let's see. If I could go back and revisit one, I would think I'd go back and revisit Action Cat and Adventure Bug. I thought that was a fun series. And again, just like Investigators, it was cartoony and it had a comic book, cat and animal themed book series. Also, we should also point out that during our summer reading program, we also had the opportunity to sit down with John Yo over at Screaming Monkey Comics, and we got to actually visit there again this month, and I'm hoping to go again next month.
2 weeks ago, we got to stop there.
Yes, that's what I mean by we got to go back there this month. You following along yet?
Yep.
Okay. All right, folks. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up our episode. I hope you've enjoyed this summer reading promotion. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And we'll go ahead and turn it over to the end of the episode.
Here's the tape.
Check out more of our comics at thecomicscornerbox.blogspot.com.
Leave us a rating or review at Apple Podcast or Podchaser.
Follow us on Twitter for all of our episode posts and news at Comics with Kids.
Check out our Facebook page, Comics with My Kids.
And finally, you can email the show at comicswithmykidspodcast@gmail.com, and we'll put your name in a drawing for free comics.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of our summer reading promotion. Check out our website. Wait.
This is the last episode. You don't need to say anything about any future summer reading promotion books.
Yeah.
But feel free to come back and check us out in a couple of weeks when we resume our normal, regular, scheduled broadcast, because school has started. All our wonderful sports programs have fired back up, so we're probably going to go back to a twice a month schedule. What do you think, Logan? You want to go back to twice a month, or do you think we should stick with this once a week thing?
Well, I say we should try for once a week.
Okay.
But instead of posting it on Wednesdays, I think we should post it on Saturdays so that it gives them some more time.
Actually, Wednesdays are working pretty good for us as far as...
Sure.
So. But all right, let's see. What should we read next? Do you have any idea?
Well, you've mentioned this before, but I was thinking, since we were supposed to have a special guest for this one, since he never got back to us, we should see if he wants to pick out a book and do it with us, just as a normal one.
Okay. Well, just FYI, he didn't get back to us. I never actually had a chance to go out and ask them because we were on vacation.
Close enough.
So, close enough. All right. Well, we'll leave it up to our special guest to see what he would want to read. All right, folks. Well, thank you again, and have a good night.
Good night.
Don't you say?
Or morning. Or afternoon. Or yesterday.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Whoa, yesterday.
It's funny to think we've just recorded this today, but No one's going to hear this until Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we're still recording on the right side. You downloaded it, but still recording.